Welcome back to Fusion Basics, and this is our last episode. And really, today we're just going to be tidying up some last things that I think you should know about Fusion 360. And that includes making technical drawings and rendering. So these are more complicated features than just 3D printing or whatever. So we're going to go through them. I just opened up this candle holder that we already created in a previous episode. So you can open it up with me as well, or you can just watch and follow along with your own design. But in here, so this menu is going to be our key up here. So where it says design, that's where we're designing. That's where we've been living for the majority of our Fusion time here. But we are going to go to drawing, and then from design, and then it'll automatically select our design. We'll just go to manual, and then we can leave most of it just how it is, unless you want to change the paper size or change the units. And then we can click OK, and then it'll automatically open up a new tab with our drawing. And then it automatically asks us to create a base view. So that's in this tab, base view. Otherwise, it automatically opens with that on here. So I'm going to just left click right there, and then it creates our base view. And then we can click OK once we finalize those settings, and it gives us a sketch of that view of our candle holder. And the next thing is the projected view, which is right underneath that. We can select this view, and then all of a sudden we can create different views from that. So I can place just a bunch of views here, just like that. And then I can press Control Z or Command Z when I'm done, and then it closes it. And we can move around some of these views still. And then the next thing is, how do we actually add measurements? So that is in dimensions, and then it's dimension. And there are auto dimensions and everything that you can play around with too, but these are just the manual dimensions. You just left click one thing and left click another thing, and then you can create a dimension. And then for the corners, you can make a corner radius dimension, and you can do that for all of your different views and projections. And that's just the basics of how this technical drawing software works. There's so many more things. You can add text and symbols and all sorts of things. So I would encourage you to dive more in depth with that. But now let's go into the render menu. So I'm going to click back on my original tab here, and then up in this menu again, the magic menu, we can go to render. So now we can render our design with realistic graphics and realistic materials. So now there's a lot more to play in with this as well, but we can go into appearance, and it'll open up this sidebar. If we open up appearance and setup, and there's tons of different materials. Say for example, I want my candle holder made out of painted wood to render it. I can go in here and then 3D cherry painted. Sounds good. Oh yeah, you have to download. Okay, just a second. I'm just gonna close that out because it won't let. So you have to download each of these appearances. And okay, it won't download because right now there's a Fusion update that needs to go, but that's okay. Let's see, do I have anything downloaded? Okay, water. I can make my candle holder out of water. And it doesn't look that great right now, but if we go into right here, into our scene settings, we can change our environment. So for example, if I want it to be in a plaza here, then it should render in. It's having a bit of trouble though because I didn't update my Fusion. So update your Fusion when you get the chance. But then when we want to actually go and render things, so after we've chosen a material, once you download the material, it shows up in this design or whatever, and then your library, my appearances or whatever. Then you can drag it on top of your design to apply it. But then we can go into render. So it's this little teapot for whatever reason. And you could cloud render it, which takes a little bit longer, but I'm just going to local render it because my laptop is fast enough to where it shouldn't take too long. So now, once it starts rendering, it'll pop up down here, and it'll give you a preview. And you can see my scene setting didn't apply. I don't know why it's not applying, but you can see it's rendering my candle holder as made out of clear liquid water. So there's tons of other things. For example, I've used this in projects where I want to see what the end result's going to look like with colors. So you can use PLA, yellow PLA or blue PLA, but there's a lot of different things you can do here. And once it finishes rendering, it'll say, and then it'll pop up. But essentially, that's how you render things, and that's how you do technical drawings in Fusion 360. And I hope that, yeah, see, it just finished right there. But I hope this series has been helpful to get you started in Fusion 360, and I hope this video has been helpful getting you to share your designs and how you can actually share those. So for the last time, it's been fun. Thank you for tuning in.